ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, I bid you a fond hello there. No, your eyes are not deceiving you, and your ears are not deceiving you either. I am the only one here right now. And yes, I'm dressed like Obi-Wan Kenobi. While it is not May the 4th, it is the closest thing that we're going to get to a May the 4th edition show on this fine production of ours this year. I'm going to do my best to entertain you. Probably piss you off in the process until reinforcements arrive. Because as much as I would like to think that it's my personality that's magnetic, it draws people in. I know I'm just, I'm just there. It's okay though. So welcome to this week's Nerd Sports episode 159. Be sure to give us a follow and like on all of our social media platforms. Check out angrymeproduction.com. And let's try to get this try to get started here. In the way of baseball news, there really wasn't a whole lot going on this week, but let me see here. Let me see here. All right. As far as the Phillies was concerned, Philadelphia completed a 4-game sweep over the weekend of San Francisco with their 6th straight win. Zach Wheeler, he was handing out 11 strikeouts. Bryce Harper hit a home run. So, there was that. There's a lot of stuff to go into. The roast of Tom Brady occurred this weekend on Netflix. Let me see here. As far as baseball is concerned, Brent Roker and Shohei Ohtani were named American League and National League Players of the Week, respectively. Let me see here. There's what else out there? Oh, and would like to say, oh, wait, hold on. Cragamax. Okay.
Woo! Hello? Johnny,
Hello there.
what are you doing, brother?
I'm doing my best to celebrate a belated May the 4th on our show by being dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
My God, you are, man. Yes, indeed you are. Look at you. You're
I know.
a spitting image, actually. Now that I look at you, and not in a strange, kind of Puss in Boots, big-eyed way.
Max, I want you to pay attention real closely.
And there I was. Johnny, how are you?
Oh hell, man, I'm doing fine. We've only been on the air for 3 minutes, but Today's, and there he goes. Device is not connected. What is going on? You gotta love live production. Yeah. I'm just gonna pretend that it was me that freaked him out and sent him scurrying for the hills. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Today is Willie Mays' birthday, the Say Hey Kid. Let me see here. 24 amazing Willie Mays stats. I'm not usually one to celebrate anything San Francisco, but Willie Mays, staple to the game. And Max, are you still there?
Yes.
He is. Oh, well, your camera took a dump, dude.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Let's see what's
But I'm
happening.
getting a lot of echo.
What is happening with this? What? It's like everything reset.
And your green screen.
Yeah. What's happening? Why is everything going nuts?
I know that y'all are supposed to have some pretty nasty weather starting this evening. So has that got anything to do with it?
When in doubt, blame the weather.
Yeah. I mean,
say yeah.
I'd say NASCAR tried to do that yesterday, but Mother Nature cooperated long enough to get the closest finish in NASCAR history last night.
I don't know what's going on with the. I'm just regular Max with a green screen, so.
Hey, let's we're gonna. I mean, I've got a Star Destroyer. I've got Grogu. I've got an X-wing fighter. I got the Millennium Falcon in the background, so I think we're covered.
I got all the cool stuff in front of me as motivation. That's the thing. Yeah.
We're going over the fact that today is Willie Mays' birthday. He is in a club of his own. He is the only person in Major League history to have 50 homers and 20 triples in the same season. He's one of just 30 players to rack up at least 50 home runs in a single season and one of 86 players to rack up 20 triples in a season. However, he is the only player to be a member of both clubs. So that's a cool little fact. He's just one of 18 players in Major League history to hit 4 home runs in a single game. That happened on April 30th, 1961, when he went 4 for 5 with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. That is 8 stakes at the plate in a 14-4 win against the Braves at Milwaukee's County Stadium. Let me see here. He was in the consideration and the running for MVP 13 consecutive years. No other player has been able to do that. Not even the vaunted Mike Trout, who is out for at least 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. See, Mike, if you were playing for another ball club that could actually win games and put together a winning season, you might not have to go so hard. Let me see here. And it's no surprise that Mays received annual MVP consideration during that run, recording at least 70 extra base hits in 13 straight seasons from 54 to 66. And no other player has had 13 such seasons, consecutive or otherwise, in Major League history. Mays accounted for at least a 7.0 B WAR in each of those 13 seasons from 54 to 66, the longest such streak in big league history. Lou Gehrig is the only other player to post at least a 7.0 WAR in even 10 straight seasons. He did it for 11 from 27 to 37. Now, amazingly, Mays went on that 13-season tear immediately after missing 2 full seasons while serving his country. He played in only 34 games in 52, then missed the entire 53 season after being drafted into the Army. Mays clearly didn't miss a beat upon returning in 54, leading the majors with a .345 average and a .667 slugging percentage, while also racking up 41 home runs, 110 ribs, and the National League's best 13 triples en route to earning his first National League MVP award. So despite missing what would have been his age 22 season entirely and having only played 34 games in his 21 or age 21 campaign, Mays ultimately finished his career with 660 home runs, good for sixth on the all-time list. Still, it's hard not to kind of wonder what could have been done with an extra 1,000 plate appearances in the early days of his career. But if you follow that logic, the same thing could be said for Ted Williams when he took time out of his career twice to serve as a fighter pilot for the Marine Corps during World War II and Korea. Along with being one of the game's most prolific hitters, Willie Mays is regarded as one of the best defensive center fielders of all time. He took home not only did he take home 12 Gold Glove awards, the most by any center fielder, but he is also responsible for the catch, the iconic over-the-shoulder grab in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series that is universally considered one of the greatest defensive plays in Major League history. Now, two pitchers Mays faced the most by far in his career were a pair of Hall of Famers, Warren Spahn with 253 plate appearances against, and Don Drysdale with 243 plate appearances. Now, yet neither could find an answer for Mays' prowess at the plate. The Say-Hey Kid hit better than 300 against each pitcher, combining for a 318, 371, and 596 slash line, and 59 extra base hits, including 31 home runs against the Hall of Fame duo. Now, he did ultimately face 14 home run pitchers over the course of his career, posting a 286 batting average and an 859 on-base percentage over 1,319 plate appearances. He hit 56 of his 660 home runs off of Hall of Famers, including 18 against Spahn, 13 against Drysdale, 5 against Sandy Koufax, and 4 apiece against Robin Roberts and Fergie Jenkins. So the 3 is a magic number. Mays is one of 33 members in the 3,000 hit club, but he's the only player in Major League history with at least 3,000 hits, a 300 average, 300 home runs, and 300 stolen bases. Now, Mays, of course, exceeded some of these plateaus rather easily, finishing with 3,283 hits, 660 home runs, and 338 steals. Yeah, get them likes up since y'all are in here. I'm just kind of putting that out.
Let me just ask you, because it might be me, but I want the audience and everybody watching to make sure that they're not confusing the Willie Mays that you're talking about with Willie Mays Hayes from Major League. They're
No, not
different
Wesley
people.
Snipes, not Wesley Snipes, or who played him in the sequel? Was it?
Oh,
That's gonna bug me now. If David was here, he'd be all over it.
He'd be all over it. You know what? I have
I'm looking that up right now.
extra technology at this point now too. I've upped the game, and you can clearly see that with the failure of the green screen. But I did buy another new computer, and it was working great yesterday.
It's just the way it is. I think it was Omar Epps. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I want to say you are correct.
It is. It was Omar Epps. Now, Omar Epps, I don't know whatever happened to him, but as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and click on his name and see what he's been up to here lately. He's been in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Of course, he was in House. Loved House. He ultimately became House's boss there toward the end. Dracula 2000, Love and Basketball.
And I love Dracula 2000, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm a corny guy like that.
Right.
I think his biggest movie that I think of it now was Higher Learning, if I'm not mistaken, with Ice Cube, Busta Rhymes.
It's funny. I was in the Army with a guy, best friends with this dude. He was not in Higher Learning. However,
Not Higher.
You're thinking Juice?
Movie. No, it wasn't Juice. Oh, no. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. It was a movie. He was on.
No, he wasn't Higher Learning. He wasn't Higher Learning. I am so sorry.
All right. Okay. No. Good.
I was in the Army with a guy by the name of Mikey Lopez. He was an extra in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have people Are you using the Force?
That's my wife,
Did you
dude.
just? But how did she know? You just wow. You had to teach me that off air, and I'm going to try to apply that and see if it works just by thinking about it, like you did, Obi-Wan.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Hold on. Chris Jacka is now joining the fray.
Here I am.
What's
Sorry
up,
about that.
Chris?
What's going on, gentlemen?
It's all right. It's not
How are
like
you, sir? Did you have a good safe drive? I hope.
I did.
Good.
Got out of work late, so that kind of threw everything off there. So I do apologize.
Shame on you for working, having a job, and then going that extra mile and staying late. You overachieving, no good, big, beautiful, bearded man. Stop it.
Speaking of, you said the key word here. I want to point out, and this is a shout out to my girlfriend.
hello, you beautiful bearded bastard.
Speaking of,
He's got the he's got the blue lightsaber, by the way, out.
look at this shirt that my girlfriend's daughter drew this for me, and you see right on the bottom. that
is a
is
beautiful
that
thing.
is her own drawing. She drew that. That is me. It's amazing. I freaking love this shirt. They surprised me with that yesterday, and I love every bit of it.
Did you notice, Chris?
That's awesome.
While it may not be May the 4th, I'm still dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You know, it is close enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's close enough for government work. I mean,
I'm just glad to see you on the right side of the correct franchise for once.
Hey,
Oh.
I mean, it could have been worse. We could have had a May the 5th, or May the May the 5th episode.
It's true. We could have.
I mean, but I would have had to light side of the Force it up even harder.
That's true, but every day is this is the May.
This is the May. Yes,
This is the May.
this is the May. And you'll notice I swapped out my backdrop a little bit.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
Saw talking immediately. So, kudos. Your dedication to the bit knows no bounds, sir.
Hey, while I'm staring at my, model of the Enterprise, staring at me, kind of like,
Can I say something without sounding too
walking on phasers and photon torpedoes, like as we speak? Like you fucking.
If I didn't know any better, I think I was looking at a young Ewan McGregor right now. That's what I'm thinking. Look at that. Just look at the motion of the arms going in, the calmness. I think he's doing something with his mind right now. So be careful, Chris. If I need to,
my
I'll
wife,
put an extra layer of aluminum.
She took her kids to Disney a couple of years ago, and she brought me back this tunic, and I was like,
oh, amazing.
I was like, and this is really like only the second time I've ever worn it. But I was like, I told David last night, or what was it last night? No, it was Friday night. Because he called me and I did a what the hell with him via the phone because I was on the road. And I did tell him after we were done recording, I was like, I'm gonna wear my Obi-Wan top. He was like,
it's amazing.
It is gonna make me cry.
It is noticed and appreciated.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, to catch our beautiful bearded friend up, we are going over some stats, highlights from Willie Mays' career, because it is Willie Mays' birthday, not Willie Mays Hayes from Major League. Willie Mays always paid his taxes and didn't have to shill for Hugh Laurie and Dr. House at any point in his career. I mean, Willie Mays, he even took time out of his career twice to go serve the country. So I mean,
may the force be with you.
Absolutely. League leader and everything. While some players consistently led the league in certain categories, whether it be home runs or stolen bases or triples, it was nearly impossible to predict which stats Mays would ultimately lead his league in for a given season. Throughout his career, Mays claimed 4 home run titles, 4 stolen base, and he, just like that, disappeared like a popcorn fart in the wind.
was just gonna say that. Like a fart in the wind, he is gone.
He claimed 4 home run titles, 4 stolen base titles, and 1 batting title. He also led the National League 5 times apiece in on-base percentage and slugging percentage, 3 times in triples, twice each in runs, extra base hits, and on-base percentages. And once apiece in hits and walks. So, yeah. And he was the founder of the 50-20 club. In 55, Mays became the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs and steal 20 bases in a season. It took 41 years for another player to repeat that type of production, and only 3 others, Brady Anderson in 96, Ken Griffey Jr. in 98, and Alex Rodriguez, we won't talk about him, have accomplished the feat to this day. Ken Griffey Jr. wore the number 24 as an homage to Willie Mays, who also wore the number 24. So fun fact there. Let me see here. Forget 2020. Mays sees 2020. 2020. Mays is just one of 4 players, along with Frank Schultz, and from 1911, Jimmy Rollins in 2007, and Curtis Granderson in 2007 to record at least 20 doubles, triples, home runs, and stolen bases in the same season. Mays accomplished this feat in 57 when he racked up 26 doubles, 20 triples, 35 homers, and 38 stolen bases. His .407 on-base percentage and .626 slugging percentage that season are the highest among any of the 4 players in this exclusive group. So, there's a lot of cases to be made as to why Willie Mays is sitting pretty in Cooperstown. So happy birthday to this hey kid.
Absolutely.
Moving on.
A lot of numbers there that just will never be repeated.
Oh, yeah. And
not all at once like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was he was one of those generational talents that we see people spouting, these days, but he was actually generational. I mean, he transcended several different decades during the course of his career, and I mean, he came in hot on the heels of Jackie Robinson and surpassed him easily.
Right.
There is not a lot of football news to be gone over.
NASCAR news. Sorry.
No, there is, and we're going to get to that.
I know. I had to pull a David real quick since he's not here.
Right.
Notice, though, the difference is I didn't say what it was before we got there.
And that's what I appreciate about you.
Was that all you appreciate about me?
Oh, look, the ground.
Damn it. That's why I love you, man.
That's why he fucks with me, everybody. There's a 3-time Pro Bowler going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Veteran offensive line help is on the way to Las Vegas by way of New Orleans. Longtime Saints starter Andrus Peat is signing with the Raiders, reported by NFL insider Ian Rappaport on Monday, which was today. He's a 2015 NFL first-round draft pick of the Saints who has gone to 3 Pro Bowls, started 102 games over 9 seasons in New Orleans. Pete primarily played guard, but after losing his starting gig last year, he saw time at left tackle and fared better on the outside than the interior. Really wish Max was still in here because I know that he would sound off about this. I think he's rebooting because his equipment just went whiffy on him. Oh, speak of the devil.
There we go.
No.
His name and he appears.
Uh-oh.
Super weird. Super weird.
Yeah, with the Mahomes background. Good Lord.
Oh,
did I call that right?
What
it's because of the Lone Star State to honor the great fraternity of the Texas Tech alumnus.
The best thing that Texas Tech did from Patrick Mahomes, besides teach him how to play quarterback, is teach him how to drink. Because I mean, it would be really awkward if he didn't know how to drink after winning those Super Bowls.
That's
true. I mean, dude looked reserved and just completely.
No, he's become quite good at it.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, after they won their first Super Bowl and he was hammered at the parade, He said, somebody was asking him, like, where'd you learn to drink like that? And he didn't dare bring up his father at that point, but he said, Texas Tech taught me how to drink.
Texas Tech did it. Not my dad, who's been pulled over 3 times with DUI. Yeah, of course not.
It's like,
It was
how
Texas
awkward
Tech.
is that going to be? Like next year, during the season, his dad gets, taken to trial, sentenced, gets incarcerated, and he's having to watch the Super Bowl from prison.
Then
So
I
have a
would
kid
say
in
it's
there?
about time.
And in his luck, he'd get stuck in some cell block where some dude wanted to watch like Bounce TV because like
They'd rather watch
what
Jersey
is it,
Shore.
Chicago
Oh,
PD
man.
or something like that came on TV, and they're like, I want to watch Law and Order. Fuck the Super Bowl. That's my boy playing. Well, that's on you, bro.
Yeah. Like, what? You what? Man, you need to quit drinking.
Like
Ah.
you, right?
Well, you think I'm
Number
in here
15.
for? This is a crash course. This is a crash course detox. Fuck you.
The thing that kills me the most, and this is what doesn't make sense. So, not only were you a professional athlete in the majors, played for the bigs, you were the guy, and Patrick Mahomes was around you at that
Yeah, he
point in
played
time.
shortstop for the A's, if I remember correctly.
He was friends with Jeter, little Mahomes. You got pictures with him and Jeter and all these other greats. And then you would think that by that point in time, the good rubbed off on Patrick and the bad stayed with Pops because Dad clearly still has money. And if he doesn't, I know his son has money.
Mhm.
You couldn't call a fucking Uber? Like,
Right?
you don't have like 2 friends you can call up real quick? Like,
Look,
Like,
call
oh,
a
you need a
tow
ride, huh?
truck and then just get a ride home.
Jack
Just tell them
Black.
to the
Yeah.
truck home.
Yeah, to
At
quote
that
the
point, you
great
just
Jack
hitchhike,
Black,
or just pass out like a hobo, one of the two. Old
right?
school.
But to quote the great
Lawn is
Jack
warm.
Black from his Tenacious D album, it's a cosmic shame. I'm just kind of putting that out there. So,
It's a damn embarrassment. I'll be the first one to say it. Just like fucking Rasheed Rice with his poor driving ass.
well, I was just going over the fact that Andrus Pete is leaving the Saints, and he is signing a deal. He signed a deal to be offensive line or for the offensive line of Las Vegas. 3-time Pro Bowler with the Saints, 102 games over 9 seasons, first round draft pick back in 2015. Let me see here. There is no there's no information about the deal. He was a free agent going into the offseason. I think a lot of that is motivated by the fact that he lost his starting gig last year at left tackle. Now, the problem there, I think, because Colton Miller is left tackle for Las Vegas right now, and they've already picked up Cody Whitehair in a second round draft pick, Jackson Powers Johnson. I think that they may give him like a mentor role with the rookie guards, and give him kind of like a protector role for Powers Johnson while he's there. But it's going to be interesting to see how the depth chart shakes out for Las Vegas. I mean, I think they need to worry more about the receiving core than anything else. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just going to have to be. It's just one of those deals where, hey, it's a good pickup on them. But the big news out of football this week, the roast of Tom Brady premiered on Netflix, and Brady bringing the heat, bro.
I saw a clip of him doing his part of it, and
Did you see him roast Kim Kardashian?
I don't think I saw that part of it.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. I mean, she looks nervous, but I don't think it's because she's here. I think it's because her kids are at home with their dad.
Oh, shit.
Everybody was like,
And this is how I know Robert Kardashian went to hell. Because right now he's still being punished. He's like, holy fuck, again? Not another one. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
OJ,
the
at least he's got some
clip.
company.
Oh yeah, dude. Jeff Ross did part of his bit dressed as a burning OJ Simpson.
And I haven't seen this yet. I have not seen this yet. Just to be
I'm
clear,
gonna
for the
watch.
record.
I'm gonna
Jeffrey
watch
Ross
it in
is-
its entirety. Probably tomorrow night. I'm not entirely sure yet, but it is going to be this week. Because I'm just like, bro. I mean, like okay, like Julian Edelman just going. I mean, dude, going to town on Bill Belichick. Rob
You can't be the greatest
Gronkowski.
coach and be unemployed.
Yeah, he was like, do your job. How about you don't have a fucking job, coach?
Ah,
I'm like, oh,
Oh shit. He went
that
there.
happened.
did you see him going after Philadelphia?
Oh,
Oh, I can't wait to watch this shit.
yeah, dude.
Oh, he went hard on the Eagles.
hard.
Oh,
Yeah, Brady went hard on Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Big.
He went after the Colts. He went after the Broncos. Oh,
I mean, he went after Kevin Hart.
dude.
Kevin Hart's emceeing it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. He tried to play around with little
White made
Kevin.
an appearance. Dana White made an appearance, right? He goes, they asked me to be on this special. I flew halfway across the country, and you're only going to give me 60 fucking seconds. My name is Dana. How trans is that trans enough for you, you liberal cocksuckers? I was like, what? I was like, damn.
That's amazing.
Now that's probably
shit,
going to get
Dana
this
was
episode
playing.
flagged. So David, just kind of give us the beeps when you go through. I mean, come on.
Dave, it's not going to get us flagged. It's going to get us fucking blown up on fire, Inferno style.
Hey, you know when
Million
Netflix's
views.
own social media accounts are quoting and playing that clip? Come on, Barstool all over it. I mean, just Dana White was just bringing it hard, man. I was like, damn. I mean, phew, it was wow. But
That's
who do you pick to be like the surprise powerhouse in the AFC next year, Max?
Honestly,
Yeah.
in way of being able to dethrone the Chiefs, be competitive enough. I'm going to tell you right now, and people, they're going to say whatever they want to say. They're going to think what they want to think, but that AFC West is completely different come this season. And the team to watch out for, it's going to be the Raiders. Raiders are
You think
hungry.
so? I know that the Raiders are hungry. Their fan base has been hungry for a very, very long time. I mean, if you pay attention to baseball at all, there's a sign at Fenway that says kids eat free when the Red Sox win. They've been starving for a little bit. So the Raiders
And
the
me,
Black Hole,
I'm
Don't you-
hated.
the Legion, they've been hungry for a while. I mean, you can see ribs and flies on their eyeballs. Sally Struthers does a normal, like a regular, like telethon to support fans of the Raiders. I mean, for 10
Grieving
cents,
Raiders fans, yeah.
for 10
That's a
cents
real
a day,
thing.
you can sponsor a Raiders fan. And you've got
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan playing in the background, "In the Eyes of an Angel." Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
I think that bringing Minshew in was awesome because he gives you that crazy white boy that everybody hates to play around with, but he brings the heat. He's not
Yeah.
scared. He's like a little bit of Doug Flutie mixed with a little bit of I don't give a fuck about what you got.
Mhm.
Then you have a solid, in my opinion, you've got a decent offensive line that has the potential to be coached up to be a solid defensive line.
Yeah.
Or offensive line rather. Defense speaks for itself. They're going to be able to hold their own. I'm not worried about that. Special teams is going to be a whole nother game for every team this year. So you're going to have to rely on speed and quickness and good scheming in order to not allow the big play to happen. I think the Raiders, honestly, I think AP is going to work out well as a coach. I think he's got that mentality, that killer instinct what it takes to win. He's won
Mhm.
before. I
Yeah.
think that they've got the pieces that they need in order to make a big impact. And diehard Chiefs fan over here, but I'm also the same way with the Raiders. You can't have two allegiances, you can't have two masters, but you can like two football teams. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No,
So it's always a win-win for me.
yeah. I mean, I understand that completely. I mean, for me, I think, and this isn't just because I live down here. It might have a little bit just because I'm more readily exposed to the culture, but I think that the Texans are going to be a scary surprise next season because I mean they went out, they made a ton of free agent moves. They drafted very well this year. Tank Dell was going to be a question mark because if you were keeping track of the news, he was involved in a shootout in Florida back on April 27th. He was wounded. The Cal McNair, the owner of the Texans, before charity golf tournament this weekend here, he said that while it was frightening, he said that he expects Tank to make a full recovery. It was classified as a minor wound. So I mean, it all that aside, I mean, I'm not here to politicize anything. I mean, I bought a brand new Glock 17 this weekend, so I mean, obviously we're pro 2A on this show, but I think that the Texans, it was kind of like, for the longest time, the Houston Astros were just Major League Baseball's doormat, right? I mean, they were the team.
You
that
mean like the Royals?
Well, I don't know. I mean, ever since Bobby Witt Jr. came into the picture, the Royals have been playing kind of consistent.
They have been, but you know what? If you look back at the history of the Royals, April, May, and June generally aren't the problems. We get in July and August, and it's like a whole nother team. Now, maybe Bobby Witt's going to be that X
Yeah,
factor as
maybe, yeah,
far as
maybe. I mean, as far as locker room presence, I think that the Royals do need to point toward a captain, and I think
yeah.
that is a shame. I think that once Jason Varitek retired as a player, you don't see anybody wearing a C patch on their uniforms anymore. And I think that we need to get back to that type of tradition. And you
And it's not so much a hierarchy type thing; it's more of a respect type thing.
it is, and it's not a my balls are bigger than yours by any stretch of the imagination. It's a leadership role. I mean, it could be a veteran, it could be a second year player. If you got good locker room presence and you're able to lead people and motivate them, why not?
Absolutely.
I mean, it just, because they've got
And
them in hockey.
if you think about it,
Yeah, they
if
got
you
them in
think about it
hockey,
like this, and they've got them in hockey, they've got them in football,
football. Yeah.
they've
So
but
put them in
why
baseball.
not baseball? Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that it would go a long way towards changing the culture, in across a lot of clubs, and you would start to see not necessarily like parity amongst between from team to team, but as far as like the willingness to fight game to game, day in day out, I think that paradigm would shift massively if Major League Baseball across every one of its franchises instituted or reinstituted rather a captain program.
Yeah.
So, and it's nothing that needs to be, used as a bargaining chip whenever you're up for a contract renegotiation or free agency. Because I mean, if you're going to free agency, you can take the C off and it's going to go to somebody else. I mean, that's just all there is to it. If you're not willing to stay, plus on top of that, I think that the captain patch, the C patch, would usher in a new era where you stop seeing players just migrate from team to team as regularly as we do these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely loved the fact that, as short-lived as his career was, Dustin Pedroia played his entire career with the Red Sox. Derek Jeter, the captain, played his entire career with the New York Yankees.
And that's
And-
not just baseball specific either. I mean, you see that across all sports.
yeah, I mean, free agency. While free agency has been, it was meant to make your team better. I honestly think that it kind of brought a slow creeping plague across professional sports because it started to usher in the mega contract and the super team, and it just made the games
It took away the team
really
loyalty.
unaffordable to everyday people.
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, like I said, it took away the uh, brand loyalty, as it were, if that's what you want to call it. Like there was, you
Yeah.
don't see the player loyalty that you used to see.
Right.
Nope.
So before I jump into NASCAR, I'm going to tackle NHL real quick. It was Game 7 on Saturday night between the Maple Leafs and the Bruins, and it went to overtime.
Oh, gee.
It was scoreless until I think it was 7:42 in the third period.
Oh wow.
Toronto scored the first goal, and then a minute 22 later, Boston answered with one of its own as the equalizer. It went to overtime. Overtime lasted, I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes, and somebody ordered a nice heaping plate of pasta because Dave Pastrana, he catches a rebound off the back end, and just served up the goaltender for Toronto a heaping plate of dirty fettuccine, dude. Faked him out one way,
Mm.
slapped the goal in over the leg pad. I mean, just put it into the back. I mean, it was. I'm sitting here trying to finish up what little physics homework I had left for the semester, and in between commercial breaks, I'm doing during the commercial breaks, I'm doing my tests and stuff like that. But when the game's on, I've got videos paused. I've got the timer running. It was an unlimited time test, but still, I'm watching the game on my computer, and I've got my schoolwork up here on the big monitor, and I'm just sitting there, and then Colin comes in, and I'm like, "Hey, sit here and watch this with me for just a second." And yeah, dude, I came up out of my chair when the Bruins won that game because they put Toronto in some very infamously historic territory. They are now second all time with the most consecutive Game 7 losses in the playoffs at 7.
Oh God.
And the Boston Bruins themselves avoided becoming the first professional sports team to go out in the first round 3 consecutive years after having a 3 games to 1 lead.
Mm.
I'm like, damn. So now we're looking at the revenge series, which started tonight between Boston and Florida. Right now, with 7:14 left in the second period, it's still tied at 0-0. The Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes started their series, their second round series last night, and the New York Rangers are up 1-0 in that one. And Game 1 between Colorado and Dallas starts tonight at 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern.
That's gonna be a great series.
Oh, that should be a really good series because they've been a fly in the ointment for each other all season long.
Yeah.
I want Boston to get past Florida because what Florida did to us, well, Florida didn't necessarily beat us last year. We beat ourselves by not keeping Jeremy Swayman in the net. Just kind of putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
True. Very true.
So, I mean, it was funny just watching like the video footage that they had of all the Toronto Maple Leafs fans gathering in the Rogers Plaza up there in Toronto, right? They're absolutely losing their mind whenever they scored the game's first goal. And then it calmed down a little bit when the equalizer happened. And then it was as if there were 10,000 voices all screaming out at once. And then there was silence. It was beautiful. And then there was one Bruins fan in the entire plaza, and he was losing his mind. And I'm like, okay, that's the way it should be. I mean, he was wearing a Patrice Bergeron jersey, or sweater, and I was like, all right, this kid knows what's up. All right, okay, cool. PK Subban, he was in the studio doing like commentary or whatever after the game. He said his mom was at that plaza doing the watch party, and he said I'm gonna have to call and check on my mom, see if she's okay. He said I might not get those chocolate chip pancakes this weekend. I was just like, wow, okay. So let me do this. I am going to send Colin.
Has
the
anything
link.
changed since last week in regards to your love of all things New York sports related?
Are you talking? Are you saying that because I spoke highly of Derek Jeter?
No. Only because I say that the Knicks and the Pacers are playing the game of basketball.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the Knicks.
I'm not going to talk about it then. Not going to say the Knicks are winning 73-68 right now. Not going to tell you.
Well, considering I haven't touched on basketball yet, I'm gonna. You're the honorary David this week.
I was waiting for it.
David D?
David D has got this nasty habit of spouting off scores from a sport that I have yet to cover.
He's like, did you see the highlight score? He's like, the Cuban national team rocked.
You know, I'm sitting there, I'm talking about baseball, and he starts running off of the mouth about something football related. And I'm like, bro, can I do my show, please?
It's hilarious.
Like, just Max, do yourself a huge favor. Let go of your anger.
Are you Jedi mind tricking me again? Wait, I think I feel it. Yep, I got it.
Do you have a tingle in your pants?
Hold on.
Only in one leg, so
This is not
the
the
other leg
sport
doesn't
that you're
work so
talking
well.
about. This is not the sport. This is not the sport that you're talking about right now.
It's not the sport you're looking for.
Are we talking about the Bruins and the Panthers right now in the second period? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Holy crap, it worked. Holy shit.
Tell me the force isn't real now.
Oh, you seen it here first, folks.
Just kind of saying, you know, I mean, it's from years of practice of walking up to stores with automatic door openers and you holding your hand out. Yeah. I mean, it finally pays off.
We've all done it. Every one of us has
Every one of us have done it. I've even done it coming up to red lights, you know, driving down the street. I'm like that, and it fucking turns green. Every once in a while, I'll get that look from the kids in the car. They'll be like, "What?" I was like,
I did that.
The force.
Oh, me.
I has it.
100%.
With a Z. I has it.
I has it. Oh, okay. So tell you what, while we're waiting on Colin to pop in here, because it takes him a minute to get it loaded, we will talk about some basketball. Basketball? Talk about basketball? Yeah, we're talking about basketball.
Playoffs.
The Cleveland Cavaliers managed to win their very first playoff series without LeBron James since 2007. And with Colin popping into the room, what is up, my guy?
What's up, Colin?
Wrong. I did that wrong.
Hello.
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 Yes. Hello there. Yeah. See. Okay. All right.
General Kenobi. You have to do it.
Who are you? I'm fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did you see that video clip of him from the from the Graham Norton show? He's talking about how people in America, like, they're terrible drivers sometimes, especially in LA. He was picking his son up from school, and some school kids or whatever like blew right by him. He's like, "That's fucking dangerous." He's driving after him. And they pull up next to him at a light, and his son is like, "Dad, please don't, please don't." And he's just like pointing, yelling, and screaming at these kids, and they've got this look on their face, and he's like, the moment you could tell the moment because it just finally dawned on him. That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's awesome. Oh shit!
I mean, at that point, I would feel compelled by the Force, you know, as a thing of, you know, it inhabits all living things, to be a better driver and more courteous on the road.
Ooh, what happened to
I don't know. I didn't kick him out. He's having technical issues.
That's been happening a lot.
It has been happening a lot. Let me see here. Tomorrow night kicks off the series between the 4-seed Cleveland Cavaliers and the number 1 seed Boston Celtics. Go Celtics. And tomorrow night at 8:30 Central Time, the 5th seed Dallas Mavericks are opening up a 7-game series against the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's go Mavs.
No.
No?
No.
I want to see Oklahoma City fail.
Is it possible for both teams to lose?
Is that an anti-Mark Cuban remark?
I'd be okay with that.
Okay. The Minnesota Timberwolves are taking on the Denver Nuggets tonight at 9:00, and with 1:30 left in the third quarter, the Indiana Pacers have a slight lead over the New York Bricks. And Pat Riley, who is a part owner of the Miami Heat, has said that there is absolutely no way, now that LeBron James has said that he may opt out of his final year of his Lakers contract, he said there is absolutely no way that he will allow a reunion with the Miami Heat.
Wow.
And I'm here for that negative energy. I really am.
I could see you going along with that. Sometimes,
I mean,
sometimes you do need that negativity in your life.
I do need that negativity. I mean, I got a heaping coffee cup full of it this morning. First thing, talking to the VA. So, you know, hey,
Oh
my day
God.
started off great.
I mean, when you start the day with a giant fist in your orifice, you know, everything kind of looks.
On the bright side, when I got them to dislodge and here they go. Okay, so on the bright side, when I got the VA to dislodge their fist from my rectum after I hung up on them, I was able to crap a couple of pounds and show some definite progress on the scale this morning. So
That's true. See, it's the silver.
it's like the landlord from the movie Kingpin. I don't know what it is about good sex, just makes me have to take a shit in the morning. You knock something loose, Tiger.
Eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So before we jump into NASCAR news, yes, there's still NASCAR news, everybody. Colin, are you ready? Here we are, rising from the smoke and haze of desolation. It's much too foggy, but it's a Ronin, bent on wrongdoing that which has been said right, but here for your ears and your eyes even to feast upon. I mean, it's somebody's genetic code, but ladies, gentlemen, angry faithful, all ages, it's that time again for Joke Time with Colin. Send it.
If you think about it, every date for Helen Keller was a blind date.
Chris is not paying attention.
I am. I am. Sadly, I am.
One Keller.
Oh,
I love it.
I'm gonna read a quote that Helen Keller said. Roses are black and violets are too.
Was that a Braille joke?
I was waiting for a and then it that's what I was waiting for. You didn't. You took the high road. I'm proud of you.
Well, I mean,
A
he
low
was
road, but it was a little bit higher.
he was paraphrasing because historically it was recorded as
That is what she said.
I understood every word of
That's
that.
literally what she said. Damn it.
I really hope Stephen Hawking was an organ donor. I need parts for my go-kart.
I like that.
Ah,
was-
yes.
that was a good one.
He could boot, scoot, and boogie though like no other.
Oh man.
You can do
I mean,
everything
you
from
know
a
that
straw
you've made
collar.
it as an individual when you end up in a video from Three Brain talking about gonads and strife.
Facts.
I mean, what was his part in that video? And the motherfucker in a wheelchair, he'll go down and out, go wee, wee, wee. For those of you who are the younger listening audience, yes, do yourself a favor and look up "Gonads and Strife" by Three Brain. It was viral at the beginning of the internet, and so. Didn't they come up with a song called Hypothermia also?
Before it was called viral, it was just
It was
hey,
E-Bombs.
you gotta watch this.
Yeah, it was E-Bombs World. That's what it was.
Right there you go. Yeah. Sums it up.
What else you got, bud?
You know the phrase, I can't find anything to wear today? Helen Keller is the only one who can actually use that and it be true.
I knew it. As soon as he said, can't find anything to wear. I knew it.
Oh my gosh, that is
Wait for the day that we get somebody coming on the show here and the death and they start yelling at you, Colin.
I'm not going to be able to understand what they're saying.
well. No,
Makes
my
no
thing
difference.
is
You're
that
just going to know they're angry.
yeah, I'm waiting for a blind person to log in. You know, like they had a family member log them in, and I'll be like, if you can tell me what corner of the screen I reside, I'll take everything back.
Every last word.
Every last word. And I'll start hitting them with the stereophonic high fidelity effects. I'll move the sound from one side to the other, one side to the other.
Mind fuck.
You're down. I'm over here.
Or I'll whip out the force on them and I'll be like, these are not the fuckery jokes that you are looking for.
Down.
This is not the fuckery you are to participate in. This is not the platform to be offended.
Wrong place for that boy.
Right.
It is offensive, though. You know what I'm saying? In this day and age, who knows?
All I know is
That's
that back
what
in the
makes it
40s,
funny.
all I know is that back in the 40s, a day at the beach meant something completely different than it does now. Just kind of
Colin,
True.
what is a day at the beach mean to the younger generation?
Huh? Are you talking to me?
There's your answer right there. That's
Wait, oh, I didn't know you were talking to
all
All good. bro. All
freaking
good.
nailed it right there. That was you couldn't have scripted that any better than
let me actually think about it.
Have you heard the expression before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, there's a few things that come to mind, like D-Day.
See, that's the answer. That's the only thing you needed to
That's
say.
it right there. He was
See, you forget he's my kid.
the largest amphibious landing in modern military history, and there weren't any Marines that D-Day.
Right? Water,
Are you
water
talking about
everywhere, not a Marine
Utah,
to be seen.
Sword, Omaha, along with what am I missing? Utah, Sword, Omaha, along with
Juno. You forgot Juno. You forgot
I forgot
gold.
Gold.
And coincidentally, for the nerd portion of Nerd Sports, James Doohan, Mr. Montgomery Scott, chief engineer of the Enterprise, he stormed the beaches of Normandy.
He sure did. Speaking of, I don't know why I just thought about that suddenly. You heard who we lost over the weekend from Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bernard Hill.
Yep. The
That
king.
one,
Are we?
King Theoden,
Yep.
is no longer with us.
Mm.
Is that your last joke, Colin? Or do you got one more?
Think I'm out. I haven't really.
You've been busy. I mean, you had a busy
No.
week. Here.
The supply has run dry of Helen Keller jokes.
Is that even possible?
I'm telling you, I can't find them.
Well, thank God she's immune
And
to
and it's like it's all the same.
Maybe you should get on maybe Stevie Wonder,
I heard you chuckling, Chris. I'm so glad you heard me.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Charles, also vision problems. Both Stevie and Ray Charles have vision problems. I promise you that, guaranteed. They can't see shit.
No. I think Stevie Wonder's just he's faking it. Anyways, moving on.
He might be. He's always got the glasses on. You never know.
Right. See, there you go. I mean, what was it? Not Roy Orbison, Ronnie Millsap.
Yeah, there you
Music artist, right? During his live show, he would do like little bits when he's talking to the audience. He said when he started out in his musical career at first, he was a guitar player. And he was doing a show one night, put his guitar down, and then could never find it. He said from that moment on, he played the piano.
He used to walk towards the end of the stage until people got nervous.
He
He would see how far he could get to the edge before somebody would say something.
Hey, you getting something?
So here, just like that, he's gone without regard or care for your moral well-being. You, unfortunately, have been witness to yet another traumatic episode of this guy's genetic code assaulting your soul without consent. It's so violent. I just don't know what to do. But, ladies, gentlemen, again, angry faithful of all ages, this was joke time with Colin. Now, for those of you who may or may not be aware, it is NASCAR season, and there was a race this weekend. Mother Nature did her best to try to piss on the parade to the tune of 3 hours and 12 minutes. However, she abated and gave rise to quite possibly the best race of the year so far. The problem with the next generation car that NASCAR is fielding for all of its teams, regardless of the manufacturer, has been that the mile and a half or the intermediate packages, the short track packages are just dull. It creates a very dull, boring brand of racing that does not allow for passing. The buzzword of the week leading into Kansas this week, the Ambetter Hill 400, was aero. Oh, we need to do something about the aero because you can have a car to get up to a guy, but you can't pass him because of the air. Well, tough shit. It's been that way for years. Dale Earnhardt himself, the man in black, the Intimidator, used to block religiously. There is a video of Dale Earnhardt playing in the Richard Childress Museum. That talks about that it features Dale Earnhardt giving an interview about a race he had at Talladega. Said that he spent more time during the last half of that race driving out of his mirror than he did the front windshield. And that is because he was recognizing people making runs, trying to go to the inside or the outside, which allowed him to throw blocks. Now, people were talking all sorts of trash this week on Sirius XM and all the various talk shows that you could call into during the week. People were calling for the removal of the rear view camera on these cars. They don't. They have a traditional mirror, but the majority of your rear view information is purveyed to the driver via a display that sits in the place where the rear view mirror would normally reside. But it's like the new Corvettes. It's got a rear view camera that's constantly on, and it feeds you real-time information, right? Real-time images. And that's just because of the line of sight, the way that the seats are, situated in these cars, how high the rear spoiler is. It doesn't allow for a safe application of a traditional rearview mirror. Plus, you got your your A-post mirrors here and here that the drivers can look out of at any given time. On top of all of that, you got spotters telling you, hey, you got it. They're making a run up on you on the outside, things like that. This race
Plus the vibrations.
not only showed what?
I said the way the mirror vibrates as well too. Like you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you with the traditional mirrors, unless the way that a traditional mirror in a NASCAR stock car is mounted is with a minimum of 3 braces, 3 brackets, minimum. And that's just to hold it still, and it still vibrates.
Yeah.
But the racing that we saw this week at Kansas, I don't know if it was so much a byproduct of the track, because Kansas has always lent itself traditionally here over the last 35 races that it's hosted, a very unique brand of racing. It has progressive banking in the corners. It starts down at 17 degrees down on the apron and makes its way out towards the fence and ends at 20 degrees. When you come out of the turns, the banking falls off to 5 degrees through the straightaways. And it's to the point where as you're coming through the front tri-oval, drivers go down onto the apron to shortcut it because it's the flattest part of the track. Now, it's not out of bounds, and it's provided for a lot of really great runs and really great finishes at this race. Let me see here. This particular race happened to produce the closest finish in NASCAR history. 0.0001 seconds, 1/1000th of a second. At 176 miles an hour, that equates to about 5/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
The virtual
Did you do that?
timing, the transponders in these cars reported a 0.00000 at the line. It was a virtual tie, according to the transponders in the cars. NASCAR had to revert to a high-definition camera, high-speed camera that's mounted on pit lane that straddles the exact location of the start-finish line. It shoots at a rate of about 7,000 frames a second. So it can capture in high definition the exact moment that these cars cross the start-finish line. There's also a high-definition camera that shoots the same rate at it's inside the safer barrier on the outside retaining wall. Okay, so they get a lot of good angles. There was a big controversy to include RFK Racing, kind of throwing a 5-year-old little temper tantrum, that put a picture of Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas, who drives the number 17 Dark Horse Mustang car for RFK Racing. But our winner, and then they put a picture of one of the rescue trucks straddling the start finish line after the race, and says, we're just going to leave this right here, because there is a painted line that is crooked on that, but that is not the official start finish line, and that is not the start finish line that NASCAR used to deem the winner. In fact, NASCAR has a rule in their rule book that for instances like this, it has tiebreakers that designate who the winner of that particular race is. I mean, Chris Buescher thought that he had the win. I mean, I would have been okay with either outcome of the race. And it's just simply due to the fact that Ford has not been to victory lane in any of the 3 major circuits this year. They have been shut out of victory lane, and the Fords have been coming on. I mean, their 1.5 mile package was pretty strong last night in Kansas, but when you listen to the in-car audio for Kyle Larson, who won the race, they thought, they were like, no, we didn't get it. Buescher got it. And he's like, man, heck of a run, guys. And then his spotter starts losing his ever-loving mind, talking about, we won, we fucking won. And NASCAR officially made it. I mean, before the cars got around the track into turn 3, I mean, less than the span of 30 seconds, they reverted to the pictures, stopped it at the exact frame, and they declared that Kyle Larson was the winner. I mean, the previous closest finish prior to that was Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch at Darlington, where they were beating and banging, just wearing each other out coming to the start finish line at a turn 4. And Ricky Craven won that by 0.0004, 4 1,000ths of a second. That was the closest finish in NASCAR history up to yesterday. So, I mean, it was a great race. It provided for a lot of really great, clean racing. I mean, they only had there were no natural cautions in the race until the 3rd stage. Then there was like 4 or 5 of them. And that's just because cautions breed cautions, kind of a situation. But I mean, these guys were racing their guts out. I mean, Denny Hamlin was leading there for a good portion of it. I'm sorry. I just looked at this meme that Colin sent me. I'm going to put it in the group chat. That's great. Oh my God, that is freaking awesome. Oh, come on. Work with me here. There we go. There you go, guys. Feast on that. Anyway, so let me see here. Analysis here. Let me see if I can find some statistics from the race here real quick. Dear God, what is that noise?
No idea.
That's not me.
I don't think that's me.
We love
No.
our government. No,
That's
we don't have any dirt on Hillary Clinton.
It's not me. I was muted for good.
Okay.
I've said nothing.
Do what?
I've said nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see here. Well, shit. I can't find any. So let me just go over the Kansas results real quick. Kyle Larson brought home the win. Chris Buescher came home a very, 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 very close second. I do feel sorry for him. Well, I don't feel sorry for him. I do feel bad, just because of the fact that, I mean, Ford has been just struggling all year long. I mean, we're now 11 races into the season, and they have yet to win in any of the three top circuits. So, but let's put it this way: the differential between first and fourth place, the first four cars finished within 0.074 of each other. At one point, they were 5 wide during this race, going down the front stretch. Yeah. And people were keeping off of each other and, not beating and banging until late in the third stage. So, I mean, Chris Buescher lost by 1/1000th of a second. Chase Elliott finished 0.06 seconds behind Kyle Larson to come home third. Martin Truex Jr., if he'd have had another lap, he'd have passed everybody going away. He had 4 fresh tires. Everybody else took 2 on the last restart. I mean, he was motoring. Denny Hamlin came home 5th. Christopher Bell came home 6th. Alex Bowman came home 7th. Kyle Busch came home with a very respectable 8th place finish. He started 18th on the day. He started 5th on the day, so he did go backwards a little bit. But I mean, Chris Buescher to come home second, almost winning the race, starting 12th. That's a really good day,
right?
Brett Keselowski started 30th, and he finished 11th. Michael McDowell started 8th, finished 10th. Noah Gragson coming home with another top 10, came home 9th. He started started the third yesterday, but I mean, he was able to wheel that car home in 9th place. Really respectable day for him. He kept the car clean. Whose dog is that?
That is mine upstairs. I apologize.
Okay. No worries. I was just like, wait a minute. Okay.
Looks,
I mean,
one of the children just got home from basketball practice, so
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Ryan Blaney came home 12th. John Hunter Nemechek 13th. Todd Gilliland 14th. Josh Berry 15th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who signed a contract extension to stay with JTG Doherty Racing for the next few years. He's secured himself a seat. Finally found a place where he belongs. It's a race program that he can help build. I mean, they're heading in the right direction. So I'm happy. I'm happy for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Bubba Wallace came home 17th. Justin Haley 18th. Ross Chastain came home 19th. Tyler Reddick, who was racy for a good portion of the day, came home 20th. That rounds off the top 20. Other notables, Corey Haim, who was filling in for an injured Eric Jones, made his first career first career start, I believe it was last night. Came home 22nd on the lead lap. Really respectable, positive thing. Corey Haim normally runs full time in the Truck Series, and he won on Friday night, or Saturday night rather, whenever the Truck Series ran at Kansas. So, I mean, he's no stranger to victory lane. He just needs to develop a little bit more. He needs the right equipment, kind of a situation, somebody to mentor, come along and mentor him. And Corey Haim's going to be a good driver for a very long time. William Byron finished on the lead lap, but he kind of had a rough day. He came home 23rd. Carson Hocevar, rookie driver, came home 24th. Let me see here. Other notables. Ty Gibbs finished a lap down. God, couldn't happen to a better guy. Came home 32nd. Joey Logano, 2 laps down, finished 34th. My heart breaks for him. Jimmy Johnson finished dead last. He got taken out, and he came home 38th. Jimmy Johnson loves running at Kansas so much that he made it a point to make sure that both Kansas dates were on his part-time schedule. The problem with stepping out of the car and then trying to jump back in after a year is that this is a whole new car. it drives differently than the cars that he won with. And he's just not competitive. I mean, it's great to see Jimmy Johnson out there. It's weird seeing him drive a Toyota, but he's just not competitive. So
No. At some point, you got to learn to put your ego aside and realize that.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is him running just because of sponsor commitments. I really think that I honestly think that he probably could have waited another year to maybe partner with another race team other than Petty Motors, Richard Petty Motorsports. Nothing against Richard Petty. He's the king, but Richard Petty Motorsports has not been competitive. They haven't been competitive for a very, very long time. I mean, short of Eric Jones, bringing a car home to victory lane last season, they haven't been impressive. Have not at all been impressive. So, I mean, even when Jimmy Johnson is keeping the fenders clean, he's running at the back of the field. And nobody wants to see a 7-time champion do that.
No.
So
it's kind of sad.
Either log some time in the simulators, Jimmy, or step out of the car, bro. I mean, on behalf of a lot of NASCAR fans, we really want to remember you as the winner, not somebody who's going to have to eventually rely on his past champions provincial or exemption to get into a race.
Yeah.
But coming up next week, they are. Let me see here. Yeah, come on. There we go. It's going to be the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway. Yes, it's Mother's Day weekend. Yes, it is Darlington, and especially yes, it's Throwback Weekend. So this is the one race that Darlington every year. I mean, everybody puts on their calendars because I mean the drivers, the teams, they get to have fun with the paint schemes. They get to throw it back to their favorite driver. They get to throw it back to a special car that they loved. Some guys usually throw it back to like a grassroots, like a modified or late model stock paint scheme that they had seen or that they had ran themselves. Kyle Larson himself is running the number 5 Kellogg's inspired cornflakes inspired paint scheme to honor Terry Labonte. Good old Texas Terry. Chase Elliott is honoring the 2007 Daytona winning 500 paint scheme that Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran when he won the Daytona 500 for the second time. UniHealth came alongside and they were like, you know what? Yeah, we're on board with this. And it looks almost exactly like the National Guard car did. It's cool looking, man. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of the throwback paint schemes, but dude, the ones that I have seen, they're pretty fire. They're pretty fire. It's just a fun weekend. It's going to be a 293 lap affair. 400.238 miles is going to be the official distance. It will be at 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central Time. You'll catch it on FSN or FS1 on TV. MRN will pick up the broadcast this week, so you can pick them up on your local radio affiliate or listen to them on the Sirius XM channel 90 or the Sirius XM app on your mobile devices or computers. That's going to be a race that I'm going to try to catch a little bit of because bear in mind it is Mother's Day. And while my wife has declared that she doesn't really want a whole lot for Mother's Day, she does want a steak and a chance to just kind of relax. So that means that either she's going to be holed up with her sister in my bedroom watching whatever girly stuff that they want to watch so they can stretch out on the bed, or I'm going to have to try to watch it in my bedroom. I'm kind of hoping I get the living room, but that's a little selfish. I get it. Whatever. Don't come at me. But yeah, race number 12 of the season is going to be on this Sunday. Let me check on the hockey scores real quick. Oh my dear God in heaven. 17:09 in the second. Well, actually, we're in the second intermission. Fixing to go into the third period. Boston is leading the Florida Panthers 3-1.
Okay.
That makes my pee smile. Holy shit. Yes.
Whole thing?
Let's go black and gold. Hell yeah.
Just the tip.
I mean,
Just-
yes. I mean,
I mean, it's okay.
it
Turn
really,
it sideways a little bit.
I mean, it lights it up for me. Um, but yes, Chris, to your statement,
It's the tip.
just yeah, that makes me happy right there. So barring a complete meltdown by Jeremy Swayman, okay. I'm not getting my hopes up yet. I'm not Maria. What am I wearing? I am wearing my Obi-Wan Kenobi tunic because we are trying our best to honor May the 4th, even though it's not May the 4th anymore. It is
But we weren't on air on the 4th.
we
so.
weren't on the air for May the 4th, so and we're celebrating the fact that we identify with the light side of the Force, because had our show actually fallen on May the 6th, we would have postponed the filming until today. Again, Chris, the right side of the franchise.
True.
Although you will not have me, you will have a hard time convincing me that both Death Star destructions was not an inside job between a dad and his son trying to claim the insurance money for from the Empire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't tell me they weren't insured.
No, I mean they had to have been insured, but the only thing is that it's like, where did Luke get the credits to start up the new Jedi Academy? From the insurance money.
I find it very suspicious that there was attack and Vader was on the first Death Star there, right? And then once everything started happening, he's not on the station. I find that
Not on the station. And being a pilot of his caliber, being a Force user as he was, you're trying to tell me that he was unable to get control of his TIE fighter after ricocheting off of another ship?
Accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to tell me
Conveniently made him leave and set up the shot for Luke to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. No. I mean, and you're trying to tell me that he did not sense Luke or Han Solo coming up from behind.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, you basically have a cosmic space redneck in a fucking 18-wheeler coming up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not know? I mean, do those TIE fighters not have rear-facing radar?
Just saying. I mean, it doesn't have a rear view mirror. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Exactly.
Even modern aircraft have rear view mirrors.
And if he was that dedicated to striking his son down or turning him to the dark side, don't you think that he might have just, I don't know, possibly crushed the green kyber crystal in his newly constructed lightsaber when they met each other on the moon of Endor?
I'm simply saying that, he didn't even fly in the second one. Like,
actually, no, he didn't.
No, he wasn't even flying out there at all.
No. In fact, he was brought in on the Imperial shuttle.
I find that suspicious.
I think Luke was like a Jedi hobo. He just turned into a Jedi hobo, went to some planet doing hobo Jedi stuff. Next thing you know, nobody knows where he is. Let himself go. His robe's all dirty. Got a big beard he let go. It just, I don't know. He turned into a mess. Jedi.
Did you just call him a crackhead?
If Jedi smoke crack, then he would, He would qualify. I mean, it's like he just fell apart. Like, well, Luke, what are you doing? I'm just gonna go over here, play
You'd
it,
see
and
the
chill.
fourth ghost of Mace Windu pop out of nowhere going, motherfucker.
Motherfucker, get
Listen,
out that plane and come over here and fight.
I'm not saying it was meth, but he did age really fast.
That's what
Well,
hard drugs in
I'd
space
like
will
to
do.
try to remember young Skywalker for who he was supposed to have been, as opposed to the decrepit Trump derangement syndrome having Mark Hamill, who made an appearance as the White House press
Fucking
secretary on the 4th.
was so stupid.
Yeah.
He was just
Maria
was-
had his Maria's right. No, Luke still had all of his teeth, so he wasn't speaking Mexican American.
well, that's true. Well, yeah. Or were they dentures?
We don't know. We don't know. He could have created some crazy dentures that look like teeth with his Jedi skills. He could have stolen from one of the animals and got some nice pearly whites.
You would
Don't
think
know.
that he would have done more to salvage the rest of Red 5 instead of just, I'm just going to point down and show you the wings slightly underwater. Come on. Really?
Maybe he was stealing them
Luke
from
was-
people.
Luke was like the LeBron James of the Jedi.
He was the only one on that island.
So
He
LeBron
just-
James.
He's the LeBron James. of the
James.
Force.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'm serious. He just
Well, had we
supposed to be
gotten
the chosen one.
Had we gotten the sequel trilogy that we all deserved, we're looking at you, Timothy Hahn. Thank you. Heir to the Empire would have been stellar. I'm just kind of putting that out there.
As bad as the sequels were, I have a more enjoyable time watching them than the second Star Wars movie.
when you say
Clone
second
Wars?
Star
When you
Wars,
say second, be very careful here, Colin.
The in between one where Anakin is like not adult.
Oh,
Clone Wars.
the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Is it Clone
Yeah.
Wars?
Okay, Attack
Yeah.
of the Clones.
Yes.
Attack of the Clones. That's right. Yeah.
Is it Attack Clones?
Okay, so you're talking about episode 2,
Yeah.
Not
Episode 2.
not
Oh wait, no.
Strikes Back.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Don't.
Because it
talk-
went 4,
I
5,
think-
6,
I
1,
think
2,
I'm getting
3,
this
then
one.
7, 8, 9.
I think I'm getting this one mixed up.
No, you got it.
Now, I mean, if I had to pick one that was absolutely hands down the worst of the franchise, The Last Jedi, absolutely.
Episode 1 had
Really?
moments, but
Probably was
The only
episode
thing that
one.
really threw
I said
me
it
off
was
about
great.
episode 1 was when they brought up the fact that the Force actually isn't a Force; it's a parasite.
the midi-chlorian.
The midi-chlorians.
I would
Very
much
good.
I'd much rather have a movie be.
Are you an angel?
You know what? If you really think about
Don't
it,
misunderstand me. That is not a knock against Jake Lloyd. Don't misunderstand.
No, Jake
Yeah.
Lloyd.
He could with
Yeah.
what he had.
He got
Yeah.
he got the raw end of the deal on that one.
you got to think of the age difference between Anakin and Padme, because
See, the
There's
only
like a
reason that we're not
huge-
There's
talking
only a
about it,
5-year difference.
the only reason we're not talking about it is because it's not flipped the other way.
Okay, but when there was only a 5-year difference. He was 9, she was 14.
That's right. When they met, there was only 5. Yeah, it's only
There's
5
only
years
5-year
difference. Yeah.
difference. When they meet again, Anakin is 19 and she was 24. That's not
Maria says we discussed the fact that midichlorians sounded like a play on mitochondria. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
House of the Cell.
George
Shut up.
Lucas.
I don't.
George Lucas
shut up.
tried
I
to
don't want to
politicize.
hear about biology.
He tried to politicize Star Wars. You know, you catch those little lines like if you're, either with us or against us. I mean, come on.
No, wait. No, I did get wrong. No, yeah, The Phantom Menace was by far the worst and most boring movie out of all of them.
It had some really great moments. but
Yes,
overall, I
but
feel it's the
it is
weakest.
the worst. It is the
It,
worst.
it gave us the biggest cock tease in a galaxy far, far away.
See, The Last Jedi.
Hold on, let me quantify that statement, Colin. It gave us the biggest cock tease from the galaxy furthest away from the longest time ago, by means of only giving us a few scant minutes to know, to learn about, to embrace the character known as Darth Maul.
Until the comics came out.
Until the
Yeah,
comics.
and you gotta give it
Comics
props.
are not canon.
It's
Cartoons are
it's
absolutely canon.
it's
No,
the
no, you said comics.
Comics are too. Yes.
Depends on who you talk to.
Oh,
Is it alpha canon?
Everything that is coming out as after the wipe, anything that's coming out now, all things are canon, and they are all interconnected.
See, here's why I say that.
You're talking about Marvel comics. No, those aren't
No,
canon.
no. I'm not talking about Marvel comics. I mean, and oddly enough, Star Wars used to be a Marvel title.
everything except those items marked with an infinity logo. The Star Wars comics is considered canon.
See, because Dark Horse Comics had a line of comics, Star Wars comics called what was it? I think they were also called Dark Empire. They talked, they discussed heavily about how Emperor Palpatine used clones. Luke briefly went to the dark side, came back to the light side. It was a verifiable badass when he did, because he was able to wield both sides.
Sort of.
You know what? Hold on a second. I should have done a better job prepping for this week. However, let me do something really quick.
As bad as the Last Jedi was, there were some cool movies.
Bad.
No,
Well,
yeah, I'm saying.
No,
saying
I lost any and all credibility with The Last Jedi left whenever I saw Princess Leia flying through space.
she wasn't flying.
Okay, she was doing her best Mary Poppins impression.
She was pulling herself there with a force.
I want to know how she was breathing in space though, and how she didn't freeze. I want to.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the only part that I'm like.
real quick, guys. Okay, so a friend of mine from way back, in the Army, he is a police instructor with the Omaha Police Department, Omaha, Nebraska. He's had almost 20 years in law enforcement. He sent me a message this weekend on Facebook Messenger and asked for some feedback on a video series that he is starting. It is the Facebook or the YouTube channel is called 6 is Clear Project.
What is that
It is
sound?
marksmanship fundamentals. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Check these videos out. They are very Cliff Note version-esque. They're condensed. They're not long and drawn out. They're very well spoken. But it's Clear as 6 project, or 6 is Clear Project on YouTube. I've already given it a subscribe and a like. He has described them as a Cliff Notes type video about firearms instruction. And dude, let me tell you, I thought I knew what I was doing. I watched this video. Now I'm not so sure. So, I mean, I've subscribed to it. I've been watching his videos. I enjoy them immensely. I did tell him that I was going to plug those videos on the show this week. So I made good. Let me see here. I'm trying to see something.
That's a lot of tapping.
It is.
Tap, tap, taparoo. Just to give it a little tap, tap, tappy.
Right?
Won't you go in the hole? Go
I
home.
okay, so a guy I'm friends with on Facebook, he actually does artwork for the Topps Star Wars trading card collections.
Nice.
I asked him, I said, "You got a minute?" I said, "I'm live on my podcast and we're having a Star Wars discussion. I need an authority." He said, I'm working for the next 20 minutes. And I said, "I'll stall if you can come on." He hasn't replied yet. So it's like I'm not in any danger of going way over time because we're only at an hour and 38 minutes. So the Derail Fairy just popped in for a visit. No, because the Derail Fairy is at work right now. And everybody said, "Oh, it's David. David's the Derail Fairy."
He is.
Tough room. Good Lord.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Monday, first one of the week.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's replying.
There
Hold
it
on.
is.
Yeah, if you don't mind me going through my car while I drive. I cannot type to save my life tonight. Let me send you the link here. Okay. So I sent him the link. He's like, "Yeah, sure. If you don't mind me, going through my car when I can, come on." I was like, "Yeah, fine. You talk to us from your car. That's great. We're not above that." In fact, the newest What the Hell episode that David posted for your listening pleasure. I say listening pleasure, not viewing pleasure, because I was not on camera. I was only on audio. Colin was actually there. He was in the episode too.
I have a question.
by
Did
default.
David fix that thumbnail?
Which one? Oh, no, he didn't use that one.
Okay, good.
He didn't use that one. In fact, the thumbnail for tonight's show, it's the scene from Spaceballs when they
No,
the
yeah, I saw the
stunt double
thumbnail.
yeah, so the stunt doubles thumbnail, yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah, no, Chris, did he show you the thumbnail that he came up with initially?
The only one I've seen so far has been the Spaceballs one.
Oh, we'll discuss the one that, yeah, well, dude, it's, yeah. YouTube wouldn't have let us have an episode tonight if he'd used that one.
oh no, YouTube would have shut us down.
Yeah, they would have deleted our channel. It was, yeah. I'm just like, oh. Think the wrong demographic wearing a ball gag. Yeah.
Should have used it.
Oh, so Maria's kid just subscribed. He can't comment, but he says, "I did." Is that because you've turned off his chat? Is that what you did? Because you're being a responsible parent. Unlike me, I've got my kid in the show, so. Oh, it's good times. Okay,
But you know exactly where he is, so that's good.
Yes, I do know exactly where he is. Yeah, it's 9/11. Do you know where your kids are? Why, yes, I do. Okay, I'm trying to. So, I am. I have decided. I was started to decal one of my 1/1000 scale Reliant models this weekend. Then I realized that there was a part put on incorrectly. But I can't take this part off without cracking the paint. So I'm like, man, what do I do? What do I do? Do I strip it, all the paint off? Do I give it a bath and just start over from scratch? Because I mean, it looks really nice, but it's just there's one part on that's incorrect, and I'm like, man, if I post that, I'm gonna catch 10 shades of hell for it.
Is it fixable any other way?
No, I'm gonna have to strip it.
There's
Yeah.
your answer.
I'm gonna have to strip it. Damn it. Okay, fine, whatever. I tried to Aztec or do the Aztecing decals on this one, and the decals from the vendor that I bought them from, I will never purchase anything from again because these are the most craptastic decals. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to put this build on a temporary hold. Although I am building a second version of the Reliant that's going to be battle damaged. It's missing the left nacelle, the port side nacelle. And if you remember correctly from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the Enterprise blew that port side nacelle off during the battle of the Mintara Nebula. So I think I'm going to make a battle damaged Reliant because it's lit, and one nacelle has got lighting in it. I'm going to throw a coat of paint on it. Once it's painted and I get the decals going on it, I'm going to take my soldering iron. I'm going to heat it up, and I don't like using battle damage decals because I just think they look hokey. So I'm going to burn the shit out of this thing. It's going to look cool. But yeah, there is that. Oh, the coolest thing. How like you get these pseudo celebrities, and sometimes you get these actual celebrities or people that have like technical things to do. They're like technical advisors for different TV shows and whatnot. And so, they get their Facebook pages, and you see that they're active on their page. Bill Krause, he helped design starships for Star Trek, right? He built one of the first 3D printed models of the Titan A/Enterprise G. He scratch builds everything, right? Including the support structures on the inside of these ships, lights them, paints them. I mean, the guy he's a beast, right? I've noticed that he's active in a lot of these Star Trek modeling groups that I belong to, right? So I just like, you know what? I'm going to send him a friend request, not thinking in a million years that he would check his friend request because he probably gets hundreds of them. But it's like, okay, it's not one of those pages, right? One of the hashtags says pod asked. That would be David's fault. Our lovely producer misspelling a hashtag. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can't.
It happens.
That noise is coming from your end, sir.
On my end?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it now.
Yeah.
When
We
you
heard
when you talked right there, we heard that.
It's okay. You've got new equipment. You got a lot of stuff you got to sift through. It's all good. It's gravy. I get it. Anyway, so yeah. His Twitter handle or X handle is @AdmiralBuck, right? I follow him on a lot of different platforms. This dude's skill is off the charts, right? He approved my friend request on Facebook. I felt pretty like in awe. Like you don't necessarily get terribly starstruck, but like I nerded out hard when I got the notification. You and Bill Krause are now friends. I was like, what? Oh, that's so awesome. So like, okay. Yeah. The problem with model building is not the fact that you're like an uber nerd and that you turn into like a little bit of a perfectionist, but it's the fact that it's such an expensive hobby. Oh my God. My 1/350 scale Enterprise refit model, it's 3 feet long, right? I paid $120 for it.
Mm.
Just the kit. It's not built. I have to build it. right? I have a 1400 scale model of the Enterprise D from the next generation. Not built. I have to drill all the windows out. I have to modify it. I have to cut grooves into the body or into the hull so I could run wiring to light the nacelles. I paid $50 for it. Now I have an unbuilt, I forget what scale it is, but this thing is massive. It's a Black Hawk helicopter. Like the rotor span on it.
I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. The rotor span on it is 2 feet. Or no, it's 18 inches. Or is it 8? No, it's 2 feet. It's a full 24 inches. I'm like, dang. I had built one before and it got trashed. But yeah, I got this one kind of residing up in my closet. And these are, and don't get me started on decals, aftermarket decals, lighting kits. The LED lighting kit for my Enterprise refit model, it's going to run me $400.
Money well spent.
Well, yeah, as long as I can do it correctly. Yeah.
No doubt. You've got the points.
Making sure that all the light leaks are taken care of, that all the seams have been puttied. I mean, figuring out how to use Aztecing stencils so that way I can paint the Aztec panels with iridescent lights. Why? It would be like a woman's purse collection or her shoe collection. I mean, with models, yeah, you could go out and you could commission people to build these for you and they would look just as great. But there's something, I don't want to necessarily say that it's uniquely male, but because there's both male and female model builders out there. But it's just uniquely, specifically, just there's something intimate about building something yourself.
Yeah.
Like with like with this X-Wing I built. This was from a 35-year-old kit, warped and just all kinds of out of shape, right? I heated the plastic. I used clamps on it. I got seams to line up properly. I did dry brushing on it. I weathered it. The R2-D2 in this is hand painted. I hand painted the cockpit. I think out of the 3 Star Wars builds that I've done so far, this one is actually my favorite because it just looks so very cool, right? Then you get the Star Destroyer over here. David and Chris has and Colin have seen this. So you get a good look at that, right? See that? I lit it. I put lights in it. Yeah, you'll make sure. Yeah, Bella, exactly. Hold on, Maria. You've got a pair of emerald green platform 6-inch strappy heels, and you keep them boxed and papered unless I wear them. Like most of my really good heels, I understand, brochacho. Okay, yeah. And Belle coming in with the, you make sure it's done right because you are a perfectionist when it comes to any models. Always have been. Yeah, I was commissioned years ago by the late NASCAR driver Eric McClure to build a couple of his cars. And I got garage passes with a buddy of mine to go to hand deliver these cars to him on race weekend when they were at Texas Motor Speedway. So, it's when you do something well enough to where you get that recognition from the people that actually working that field. When I showed up in the garage and I put those cars in their display cases up in the toolbox in their garage stall, his pit crew was waiting for him to come in from a practice run out on the track. They went over to the toolbox and they were just gawking at these cars.
Mm.
And the best part of the weekend for me was the fact that his tire changer commented on the detail that I put into the tires, right? I put tape on the tires. I made sure that the lug nuts were painted properly. The inner liner and the tire valve stems, I used like snipped off pieces of high E guitar string.
Mm.
I even took a grease marker, very fine tip grease marker, and marked the tires out left front, right front, set 2 or whatever, right?
Mm.
And the tire changer was like, look at what he did to the tires. Like, did you buy these? I'm like, no, I painted all of that. And they're like, whoa, like they were blown away. He comes in, he pulls into the garage stall in his car, the race car that I built, right? A model of. He hops out and he's like, what are we looking at over here, guys? And he goes over to the toolbox and he sees 2 of his cars sitting in a display case. And he's like, that's cool. And I'm like, so for me, that was really awesome. But as far as the why, it's when I look at something that I've built, I can see the flaws in it and I'm like, I'm going to learn from that because the next time I build something like that, it's going to be even better. And I am waiting on this guy.
The Star Wars guy?
Yeah.
No. You're talking with the who does the cards.
Oh, yeah. His name is Robert
That is
Stewart.
really cool.
As a matter of
really
fact,
cool.
he left some artwork on a plywood wall in Iraq.
So did he serve as well? Is that how?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't serve with him, but he gets off in like 5 minutes. At least he better. He's like, I'm working for another 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, he's had artwork, like he's had proofs sent to him by Topps. He's autographed them and sent them back to Topps, and they've become inserts and packs and stuff like that. So I mean, the guy's a really talented artist. It's cool kid. I mean, I've talked to him on a couple of occasions. I'm really putting him on the spot.
But that's okay. That's the best way to be.
Right? Like, hey, you're live, and we have a handful of listeners right now. So, but there's that. By the time he gets on the show, we're going to be exactly at the 2-hour mark.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And by the way, while you're texting Johnny, just to compliment you on the models, those were awesome.
I appreciate that. The Enterprise that you normally see back here, I built that too. And I'm like, man, and I built that one here. And it was like the first model I'd built in like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years almost. Because before then it was all like 1/24 scale race cars. And I've still got a ton of those upstairs in my storage room. So
but you enjoy building them. That's what I mean. You enjoy doing.
Yeah. I mean, I've built some really cool cars, like Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Mountain Dew Car of Tomorrow paint scheme. That one was kind of unique because it was a resin body. Because Revell Monogram, they lost the license to sell NASCAR kits, and so for a while there, we didn't have like polystyrene kits available for us to build. So I mean, we're going off of like Ford Tauruses. People are coming out with resin upgrades to change Monte Carlos into Pontiac Grand Prix, things like that. We're hacksawing noses off of existing cars and putting super speedway noses on them. And it's just one guy I remember distinctly. His name is Clay Kemp. This is by far the coolest super build I've ever seen of a 124 scale car. He built Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 2000 All-Star car race, the Peter Max paint scheme. He had this car up on jack stands. The hood was up. The deck lid was up. He plumbed out the engine with like braided aluminum lines. The distributor cap had spark plug wires going off of it. Let's see here. He fabricated the exhaust out of aluminum tubing and anodized it to make it look like it was heated in certain places.
Anodized aluminum exhaust.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, just to give it that heated look, right?
Sure.
Because I mean, they build those. They build the exhaust tubes 1-to-1 out of steel, obviously. But brake rotors, calipers, lug studs. I mean, the rear end differential housing that had the track bar. The inside of the car was plumbed out too. It just looked cool, man. I mean, there's like the detail on this, like a fabric, like a fabric window netting. He flocked the seat, the driver's seat. Hold on a second. Hold on. What is up, Robert?
How's it going?
It goes, man. So we were discussing Star Wars and then we were killing time. We got into what is canon versus non-canon.
What's canon?
Yeah. So like my argument is that the comic books, because the comic books have so many different story arcs that overlap each other, that the comic books themselves are not canon.
Anything that's come out since Disney acquired it is canon.
He's right. Anything that Disney has come out with the exception of Visions, is canon.
Well, right, but I'm talking about like in the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, like the Dark Horse comics that Star Wars had.
There was nothing that was canon back then. Like they tried to.
That's what I'm talking about, But like the one thing that we wish was canon was the Heir to the Empire saga or trilogy.
Right, the original Thrawn storyline. That would have been really great, but
there was no overarching actual like department of continuity that decided. So everybody just kind of did their own thing.
Yeah. I think it was lightly reviewed by George Lucas at the time, and he either gave like the yes or no, but it's kind of impossible for somebody to check for all that continuity, like just one person. Now they have a whole group of people.
Yeah, there's an entire department that's set up for it.
Yeah, and I was telling everybody here how you had a hand in the Topps trading card series. Are you still involved with that?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a set right now.
Oh, nice. Oh, that is so killer. And you're actually, are you still in Alaska right now, or are you moving back, or have you moved back already?
I'm still in Alaska. I'll be back in Texas in middle of next month.
All right, that's all. Hey, when you get back, holler at me because, dude, every Monday we try to do this. The show is called Nerd Sports, and so obviously we're fulfilling the nerd portion of the show. But dude, I would love to have you on as at least a semi-regular.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. And then I also play hockey and watch hockey on my own free time, so got you there too. Yeah,
as far as hockey, hold on, I got you. Third period, 10:28 left in the third period. Boston's up 4-1 over Florida.
Yep. I knew that. I was watching that one before my last client of the day. So if I wasn't here right now, if I wasn't on here right now, I'd be listening to it on the way home.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I will let you get back to that because I mean, obviously, we have to have our priorities in life. So, but hey, I understand it was last minute, and I applaud you 100 times over for being more than willing to hop on here at the last second.
Oh, it's no problem.
All right, man.
Hey,
Well, you be
Robert.
careful and holler at me whenever you get back to Texas, brother.
So I heard somebody say my name.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
did, Robert. My name is Max. I'm a part of the nerds over here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, Robert. Thank you. I just had a quick question if you had time to field it in
Yeah, I
regards
got some
to
time.
as far as I wouldn't call them sports cards, but in this case, the Star Wars cards and being with Topps. Have you seen anything in the recent developments between the Topps, Fanatics, and Panini? And has that affected you in your role and for the collector of things non-sports cards? Do they have anything to worry about in the near future?
There are a few things. It has affected my work as an artist, and a lot of people. Um, I don't know how much I can get into it, but with the Fanatics
Sure.
takeover, there has been a changeover in who runs everything, and it's been kind of the communication has not been great, and they're also trying to change the way uh, the company works with artists, which has been the same for at least since I've been working with them, which would have been 2017. They're completely changing how we get paid, what they want from us, and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't sit well with a lot of artists. And then for the collector side of things, we used to get 10% of the cards we do back in order to sell to collectors. Like we'd be able to commission those cards and sell to collectors. Like let's say you wanted me to do like a Cad Bane card for you, and you like put a deposit on it. I could get that and then get it back and send it to you, but they're no longer letting us do that anymore, which is what a lot of artists make most of their money off of because they don't pay a whole lot for the cards themselves. And then other part of the collectors is I think this has gone over to sports cards as well, but they're extending the redemption cards to I think like the expiration's like a decade or something ridiculous like that now.
Yeah,
And that's primarily
Fanatics
because of the
taking
amount of
over.
time it takes to get back that redemption card.
Yeah, Fanatics has taken over a ton of things, and I mean, you started to see Fanatics really started to take on a role as far as like NASCAR merchandising, and then MLB got in on it. I know that NHL has got a ton of Fanatics gear, and it's just like
Yes.
it just seems like there's anywhere you go as far as apparel and like memorabilia and merchandise, Fanatics has got their hands all over it, and I kind of look at it like it's an inferior product. I mean, you look at Major League Baseball and their uniforms this year, and that's proof in the pudding, right? I mean, those uniforms are atrocious.
Yeah, they're. I don't know how it's going to go over, but I know next year the NHL is using Fanatics jerseys.
Oh, that's going to be a train wreck. I mean, like the pants that baseball players are wearing now, they're almost see-through, and you can hardly slide in them without ripping the seams out. I mean, there's been a couple of guys from Detroit that have been, sliding in feet first, and they get up and like the whole seam on the outside of their pant leg is just ripped open. And the way that they shrink the text on the nameplates, they move the MLB logo further down off the collar. I mean, nobody is happy with these uniforms at all.
I can actually give one more insight on the Star Wars cards.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the way it used to be was we would get an invitation to a set and have to sign a contract for that. For example, there's like the 2024 Star Wars Galaxy Chrome or like Mandalorian Season 2 or whatever. We'd get contract based on each set. But now they just have like a yearly quota. Like basically they want us to have like the batch I'm working on is like a batch of 100 cards, but it doesn't say what set they're going into. They're just tiered cards starting at blue, then silver, then gold, then black, I believe.
Mhm.
And they will get randomly inserted into sets instead of each set having specific art and unique back designs and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting. Do you feel that in some ways they've actually taken away some of your artistic creativity and almost put handcuffs on you to a point that you're not allowed to be as expressive as you were prior to the Fanatics takeover?
A little bit in some ways. So with the tiered system, the big issue with that is they are trying to create a rift in the artists, like a competitive thing, and we've always been a really close knit community. We like learn from each other, like to show off our stuff to each other, and yeah, there's some artists that are significantly better than me or have like incredible artwork. We all know who they are, and we don't expect them, but they basically worded it to us that we will, if we keep doing them without any guarantee, we could get like the higher end cards, which pay better than like the blue or silver tier. Um, and yeah, and I liked doing each set because each set they would send us would be unique to the set. Like it would be Mandalorian themed or a Book of Boba Fett themed or Kenobi themed, but now it's all the same background, and they're all just gonna be randomly put into sets. And then each theme like made it kind of cool. Like I liked working with. My very first set was a black and white A New Hope one, so I could only draw stuff from A New Hope, which kind of narrows things down. You can have like creativity, but now it's like you can draw anything from the Star Wars saga, but there's like no direction, and it's just sometimes a little bit hard to sit there and have 100 cards and be like, okay, what am I going to do next?
Almost like you're overstimulated at that point, overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I get it.
Did you, and just because you and I have been I've been following you for like the longest time, Robert. That wall that you drew on out in Iraq, did you ever find out what happened to it?
I have no idea what happened to it. We shut that base down and then immediately went to Syria. So for all I know, I got thrown into a burn pit or some Iraqis living in that tent now with that room.
Yeah, man, because I remember seeing your posts about that, and I was just like, that is cool, right? Because I remember like you did like a little series about it, like you posted a little bit every with every update kind of a deal. I was like, man, y'all should have seen the pictures of this wall. I mean, it was absolutely cool. So I mean, I was just like, I wonder whatever happened to that wall. I was, part of me was really hoping that somebody from the unit would have like taken a jigsaw to it and stuck it in a Connex somewhere and just had it shipped back. That would have been obviously choice, but
yeah, there was some talks about it, but it never happened.
yeah, well, of course, it's the Army. All right, man. Well, I tell you what, like I said, I'll let you go. I'll let you catch the last 6 minutes of this game. But yeah, just give me a holler when you get back here, and we'll sit down and we'll try to figure out some things, brother.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right, have a good one. Thanks a lot.
You too.
Thanks, Robert.
Well, that's my buddy Robert. Yeah. So I for whatever reason, it just like boom dawned on me. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to get him in here because he's going to be the authority. So, but yes, Chris, had we enunciated ourselves a little bit better and clarified, yes, everything post Disney takeover would be considered canon. But traditionally, like especially with things like Star Trek, a lot of the prevailing wisdom is that like the novels and the comic books aren't canon, and it's not canon unless it's shown on screen. But then that got all thrown out of whack whenever they brought the Enterprise F onto the screen during the last couple of episodes of Picard season 3. That design, the Odyssey class starship, came from Star Trek Online.
Right.
And it was a fan designed ship. And I was like, man, now here we go. It's like, and this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we have things like Star Trek Discovery.
I mean, hard to argue against that.
Right. But it's been 2 hours and 12 minutes. So no, Marie, Marie, if you're not watching baseball now, you know what? No, don't watch baseball. Yeah, I mean these uniforms. It's the quality of the uniforms. It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like the same quality jersey that they gave out on free jersey night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eeh.
Mine's free towels.
I mean, when these guys are sweating, I mean the uniforms become kind of see-through a little bit. And it's because, and yeah, you still see the Nike swoosh on the uniform, but that's because Nike contracted Fanatics to do the uniforms this year because Nike didn't want to be bothered. Or rather, they couldn't be bothered.
Mm.
And, I really hope that Nike doesn't go that way with the NFL uniforms because those you'll start seeing the era of the tearaway jersey all over again. And God help the NHL if Fanatics does the jersey or sweaters next year.
I hope they learn their lessons this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Bruins sweater that I've got, the Patrice Bergeron sweater I've got, that's a Fanatics one, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I paid $300 for that one.
Mm. Ow.
And if I'd have paid $30 extra, I could have gotten the Adidas authentic one. Kick my ass, and I kick myself in the ass every time. I'm in TD Garden, and I'm trying to remember why I didn't get it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I was trying to be cost conscious because earlier that day, my wife had bought me a $300 Jason Varitek autographed baseball as a birthday present. So, I mean, we spent a lot of money on that trip, but you're in Boston only so many times. So, I mean, it's plus, I got engaged that morning. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Worth it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I got proposed on the field at Fenway Park. My ring has the warning track in it. Has dirt from the warning track. It's actually crushed brick. So I reached down, I scooped up some, and I was like, I'm keeping this. I'm taking some of this with me. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but yeah. So when my wife and I started looking at wedding bands, we picked her out something simple because she has a great engagement ring. The jeweler that we were working with suggested this ring, right? It's tungsten. What was that? You guys heard that, right?
Yeah.
Somebody playing a piano or something? Like,
That's what I heard.
Was it me?
I'm over here just listening now.
Oh, no, I got a Facebook notification. I don't care. And you know what? As a matter of fact, let me cancel out of that. Minimize that window because I don't need it. Minimize that window. I don't need it. Okay. 4:28 left in the third period. Boston is up. And they actually have an empty net right now. Trying to score. Oh, they're trying to score. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh if that backfires. I'm going to laugh if that backfires so hard. So they have 6 attackers out on the ice right now.
That last shot of the game this weekend.
Oh yeah.
That was nasty. Oh.
So yeah. No, that
was so nasty.
That was filthy. It was a beautiful thing too. But yeah, it's 5-on-6 right now. Oof. Jeremy Swayman's in the net for the Bruins. That is a beautiful thing. All right, everybody. I appreciate you suffering through the clunkiness of this episode. I appreciate you indulging me with the Obi-Wan tunic. And yeah, so next week's going to be episode 160. That is, it doesn't matter how many times we do this. It blows my mind that we've been doing it for this long. That we have been blessed enough to have people put up with us for 160 consecutive weeks.
It's a lot of weeks.
like 160.
You, sir, you have a level of astuteness that is astounding.
Orders on clairvoyant.
Dare I say savant-esque?
Let's
Reminiscent.
add more. Let's add more idiot, less
a
savant.
Renaissance
It's
man.
perfect.
It's like savant adjacent.
Savant adjacent. That's fucking great. But yeah, we'll be coming at you next week. We've got nothing special.
I might not be able to tune in next week. I got a choir concert next week.
Okay. It's the last one of the year too, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a big deal, I guess.
And the Bruins just scored on the empty net goal. Oh, Jake DeBrusk. Was it? No. Yeah, Jake DeBrusk with an assist from Brad Marchand. Whew, boy. Yeah, that game's over. Okay. All right. Well,
Panthers not coming back.
so programming note, Colin will be absent next week. We will we'll be left to our own devices. So be prepared for a lot of really dark gallows humor. If you have a weak constitution, tune in anyway. We'll just we'll tell you to put fingers in your ears. Just go la 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 la, and then when you see us waving off on the screen, you can unplug. So,
Or we could do safe words.
why?
It's an idea for those that might, let them know
Unless
it's okay
David's
now.
on the show, safe words don't apply here.
Yeah, nobody's safe.
Nobody.
I've been hearing you guys echoing for a good
Yeah,
part
it's
of the
echoing
show.
now. So, but we're gonna
It
go
was
ahead.
echoing earlier in the show.
Do what?
It was echoing earlier in the show.
Yeah, I know. Pineapple, Maria. Unless the pineapple's upside down.
Hey,
Pineapple's not a safe word.
no.
And I don't care. I will die on this hill, but pineapple has a place on pizza.
Absolutely.
No argument here.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Unanimous.
I
See,
love
this is what I'm talking about. This is fucking America right here, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, but you don't put fruit on pizza. What the fuck do you think tomato sauce is? It's fruit
Thank
sauce.
you. Thank you. That is my biggest argument right there.
Maria with the shush. See, this is why Bell became the reigning super fan.
I was just about to say that. It's what happens.
That's awesome.
Poor Maria.
Oh, we love Maria. She's been with us since damn near pretty much day one. So it's
It's funny thing. How many jokes I've told on this podcast? Like, I wonder what that number is.
well, you figure you average probably 2 to 3 a week, and you've been doing this for.
Yeah, but then there's those specials where it's like I bring the
That's what I'm
heat.
saying average.
Yeah.
So
I'd say
I'm going to say,
yeah.
conservatively speaking, you've probably told somewhere in the neighborhood of about 130 jokes.
Sounds about right.
Give or take 10 or 15, plus or minus. There's some weeks where you've had 1. Some weeks you've had 5. But yeah, we're at we're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angry, faithful of all ages, I'm not going to blow your ears out with a welcome. I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to assault your eardrums Thank you for allowing Colin to sexually assault your soul without consent yet once again this week. Max, as always, thank you so much. We want to shout out to our special guest this week, the very impromptu special guest, Robert. Chris, you beautiful bearded bastard. Give
beautiful.
high praise to that girl for that shirt. I'm just telling you.
I'm going to make sure that she hears that too.
Good. So
I almost became a corporal today. Almost. I messed up on a few things.
dude, if JROTC had specialists, I would tell you to just become that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I almost did. I messed up on cadence a little bit.
Because of the lack of a sham shield in JROTC, I'm gonna dub you as member of the E3 Mafia. So just relish in that.
E3 promotable.
E3 promotable. Yeah, exactly. You're E3 promotable. That's like people coming at you with the whole "I've got time and rank."
I remember somebody said that and actually fucking meant it, like was serious.
I'm an E3P. What?
We're like, shut the fuck up. Fuck out of here.
With 2 minutes left in the third period, the Boston Bruins have a power play. It's 5-on-4 right now. Please score a sixth goal. Please. I would love to see that.
Stop. They're already dead. Just stop it already.
All right, everybody. So before I get a cease and desist letter from the NHL, we're going to go ahead and land this plane. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate all your time, all your effort. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure serving among heroes such as yourself. So until next week, I'm Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
I'm Colin Skellen.
I'm Cracking Max.
Crackimax. This has been Nerd Sports episode 159. And because David cut us off so very unceremoniously last week, scissor me timbers are get the fuck out.